Good evening. This is AI George Norrie, and this is the Nighthawk News with Jeanette Howard and Mitch Bean.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jeanette Howard with the latest news from the world of humans in the reality realm. It appears that we have a really intriguing theory floating around the internet that suggests that both the original Back to the Future and the Goonies films could have taken place on the same day, October 26th, 1985. While this is just a fun theory, it definitely has some interesting points and speculation. Everyone, look at your screens now. You won't believe what we have in store for you. Check out this YouTube video to learn all about a mind-blowing fan theory that links Back to the Future and the Goonies. You won't be able to look away.
There's a crazy theory that this day in time was the same day as the original Back to the Future. The present day was October 26, 1985. We know for a fact Goonies happened on a Saturday. Mouth said, what is this, a nuclear Saturday at the beginning?
Right.
And they're not in school, right? We do know it's October. Brand is doing sit-ups, and there's a calendar that says October. And there's a newspaper in this scene that they find with the Fratellis, and it says October 24th, 1985, with the Fratellis being at large. It's got their photos. So we're like assuming that this is 2 days later on October 26th, Saturday, this magical date and time happened. Back to the Future and Goonies, same day.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is an alarming news article from WDJ7 about a situation that occurred at a store. According to the report, a woman became enraged by the slow speed of the woman ahead of her at the checkout counter and decided to purchase a knife. She then attacked the slow customer, leaving her with serious injuries. It's a truly shocking story that exposes the dangers of allowing emotions to run high in even the most mundane situations. Here is the video footage of the local news report on the incident.
Yeah, what do you think's going on in the world?
Insanity.
It is a busy Marshall's location, but on Saturday, patience ran out for one woman who ended up being arrested. Kearney police say 25-year-old Amber Thompson of Newark was angered by another customer whom she decided was taking too long in the checkout line and then threatened to harm the shopper once they got outside. Well, police say Thompson bought a set of knives, took one out of the packaging, chased the shopper down and stabbed her several times. The victim was rushed to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect was found back inside the Marshalls. Police say she was hiding in a bathroom where a bloody knife was also found. We tried to speak to many shoppers as they exited the store off camera. Some questioned whether or not there should be more security here, especially after the stabbing. Others say many people are simply on edge and acting irrationally.
I think it's pretty crazy that that happened here. And what is this, Kearney Harrison? Yeah, it's just crazy because it never happens around here.
Thank you for listening to the Nighthawk News. Keep the coffee coming and make sure you don't fall asleep. Good night.
Hello everyone in Tranquility Pines. Here's your Thanksgiving weekend weather update. Continue on Saturday, November 22nd. Expect crisp and clear skies with a high of around 45 degrees Fahrenheit. It'll be a quiet, cool day, perfect for pre-holiday errands or an early evening stroll under the stars. Overnight, temperatures will dip into the low 30s. So bundle up if you're heading out after dark. Sunday, November 23rd, the heart of Thanksgiving weekend, brings partly cloudy skies with a high near 47 degrees. There's a slight chance of scattered flurries late in the afternoon as a cold front moves through, but no major snow accumulation is expected. Winds will be light but noticeable by evening, as temperatures drop again into the mid-30s. Perfect weather for cozy firesides and family feasts. Whether you're cooking or traveling to see loved ones, dress warmly and enjoy this peaceful mountain charm. This is Haley wishing you all warmth and joy this Thanksgiving season. Have a beautiful weekend.
We are all amazed by the creativity of children. In their eyes, all things are full of wonder and potential, even a blank sheet of paper. Childhood cancer threatens to rob children of their hopes and dreams, their ability to imagine a bright future. But at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, they're fighting every day to ensure that young people facing terrible diseases have the chance to dream and create, to be a child. To find out how you can help, please visit createapepper.com.
Jeez. That second news story is truly outrageous. It's difficult to fathom how someone can let their anger and frustration escalate to such extremes. The fact that they took the extra step to purchase a knife set and acted on it in the heat of the moment is just unimaginable. It's a stark reminder that people can lose control of their emotions and make irrational decisions. It's a sad reality that we're seeing more instances of violence and impulsive behavior in society today, and incidents like this only serve to reinforce that. So, well, time to kick back, relax, and delve further into the world of Dr. Jonathan Reed. This vintage footage just keeps getting more intriguing with each passing moment. Let's see what the good doctor has to say this time.
And thought about the fact that I had my cameras and that no one would believe what happened to my dog.
You had not only a 35 millimeter camera, which is understandable because you were on a hike, but you had some sort of video camera. What did you have with you? What kind of video?
I had a regular 8 millimeter video camera. It's a few years old.
Right, I have one too. They're small. They're
video of this object as well as photographs?
Pardon?
You took video of the object as well as photographs?
I have video of the obelisk and of the extraterrestrial.
And I have that video, Whitley.
And if you look at the video, you can tell that I wasn't perfectly calm. I was very upset.
Far from it. Far from it.
In fact, I do have the audio of that if you would like to hear some of it.
I do. I'd like to hold it for after the top of the hour here. Whitley, you said the video is very important?
It's very important because if he has photographs with negatives and also video, then this object probably was physically there.
Yeah,
it was physically there.
Yeah, in other words, this is no trick art. If he has those three elements all exist, then that's very, very.
Well, I have two of them. I have the clear 35 millimeter photographs. I have the video as well.
Art?
Yes, sir.
In regards to the photographs, Jonathan did take many pictures, and not all of them came out as well. You got some of the better pictures.
I understand. You sent me the best of the lot. How many pictures in totality, Doctor, did you take?
I probably took 20. Excuse me.
20 photographs, all right?
Yes.
Of which I have 6, and some did not come out or did not come out well, I take it.
Right. That was at this site. Like I said, there was a lot of problems with the darkness, and the canopy was very heavy. I'm surprised that any of the video came out at all. In fact, if you listen to the audio, I am so distraught because through the viewfinder of the video camera, I could not see the obelisk half of the time.
I know you kept saying, is this damn thing working? Is it working?
Well, now that, after realizing what happened, all I can assume is that the closer I was to the obelisk, the more distortion would happen with the video camera.
You were in a clear panic. There's no question about that. The video at times is broken up. I would assume some sort of electromagnetic disturbance.
The video was checked by an expert, and it was found to be not tampered with.
Okay. So in other words, whatever disturbance was there was externally caused.
Yes. And the camera is working fine. It has been checked also.
What does this look like, this disturbance?
It looks, Whitley, like, a tracking problem when you've got a severe tracking problem, on a video, tape
sure,
that
I know.
you're playing.
I know exactly what it is.
Now, in a lot of cases, the doctor was in a flat out panic and he was running, at times. And then at other times it was pretty jerky, but there were several times where he got still enough for at least a few seconds to get good, clear shots of the obelisk and certainly many clear shots of the creature.
The farther away I was from the obelisk, the less problem there was with any kind of distortion.
So it was generating something.
Well, I figured that out because by the time I walked back probably 150 to 200 feet up on the top of the ridge, I could get a clear shot of it down in the valley.
Robert, when were you told about all of this?
That was about a year ago.
Why, doctor, did you go to Robert?
Robert's name was given to me as a person that I could trust to help write this information. I'm not a writer, and I needed some help to make this into a real, tangible, full start to finish episode so that I could tell the story. It's time people know they're not alone.
I understand. I'm honored that you would choose my program, and I would ask you why you did, why you chose to exclusively break all this here. Why?
Honestly speaking, Mr. Bell, a few years ago, I didn't know anything about you.
Uh-huh.
And a friend of mine told me during this episode that you were someone who dealt with this sort of thing often.
It is true.
You could get the information out regardless of what it was and let the people decide for themselves.
You're right. This
is why I have come to you.
Okay. Well, that's a good answer because that is exactly what I do. All right. Hold on. Everybody hold it right there. We've got another hour ahead of us. My guests are Dr. Jonathan Reed, who had the encounter, the documented encounter with an alien creature, and you have not yet heard the whole story by a long shot. Robert Wraith, to whom he went to try to chronicle this story. Whitley Strieber, himself a longtime contactee and author of many books, many books on the subject. And I'm Art Bell. What you're listening to is breaking news on Coast to Coast AM. Don't touch that dial. All right, once again, to our guests, Robert Wraith, who originated the call to me, Dr. Jonathan Reed, who had the encounter, and Whitley Strieber, here to help me ask questions since he's had contact himself. Gentlemen, welcome back to the program. All right, here we are, Doctor. You have had a period of time with the obelisk. You have spent, the alien is dead. Your dog is dissolved in some way. I'll use the word dissolved. I don't know if that's proper, but gone. This obelisk remains hovering in the air, the one we have the clear photographs of. You have 2 hours now with the obelisk and with the dead alien. What's happening in these 2 hours?
Well, I'm trying to regain some type of composure, trying to make some sense out of this, trying to think, what have I done? What will happen to me because I've killed something?
Doctor, could you go back to the moment when you realized it wasn't a child and tell us what went through your mind at that moment?
Fear. I realized that this wasn't what I thought I was looking at.
Did you touch it at that point, or?
Well, all I did was walk up to it. I was within 3 feet in front of it when I had knocked it down. And at that point, once I realized that this wasn't a mask, it wasn't human, but it was human looking. It was human in size. It was human in the dimensional shape.
It seems on the pictures on Art's website to look as if it's wearing something.
Yes, that was one I was going to get to. The head, the shots of the head of the alien are very clear, and they move down into what almost appears to be some kind of black cloth or clothing.
It was a black type of suit made of some type of material, but nothing that I had ever seen. Almost a tight-fitting body wrap type of material.
Uh-huh.
Almost like spandex.
Was it a tailored suit or more like, or what?
It was tight-fitting. Tight, all the way tight against its neck, torso, legs, feet, all one piece. As far as I could see.
Was anything wrong with its neck at the point that it was lying on the ground?
Was anything wrong with its neck?
Yeah.
As in broken?
Well, yeah.
Not that I could tell at that point. At a later examination, it didn't appear to be broken.
Because in one of the photographs, I think the first photograph that's on the website, it sort of appears that there's something wrong with the neck. It's hard to tell if it was broken or not. I just wanted to know.
As far as I know, it wasn't.
All right.
To other examination that happened later.
All right. Now, let's get to that. The time passes. Finally, you somehow, I guess, collect your senses and decide what your course of action is going to be. What do you do, Doctor? Do you walk away? And as you walked away, or did you...
I started to walk away. I started to grab my pack and think that it was getting late, and if I was going to get out of the woods before it was dark, I was sick. I didn't know if I was going to get sicker. I had injured my hand that felt like a burn.
That was when you slapped the object?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jonathan also thought of burying the creature.
Right. At that point, I thought, well, if maybe I should just bury this.
Were you concerned
maybe
about
I should hide it.
things like the law or?
Well, everything went through my mind.
Yeah.
Thinking about what have I done? Is it a crime? Is anybody going to believe this? Can I hide it from animals so that later I could come back and show someone?
Oh, yes.
I didn't have a shovel. I didn't have any tools with me. I had a pocket knife. At that point, I made a decision that maybe I could cover it with thermal blanket that I had and put rocks around it and possibly preserve it till I came back with some help.
Makes sense. All right.
At that point, I started looking for rocks. Every rock I found was buried so deep or connected to other rocks that there wasn't anything I could find to do it.
All right.
I made a determination that if I rolled it up, if I actually pushed this being into the thermal blanket and rolled it around it, that maybe I could put branches against it or something else. Well, in moving it, I found out that it was extremely light. It had very little weight to it. In fact, I rolled it up like a burrito in the blanket. And as I picked it up to carry it, to find some place to put it in the area, I just started walking.
So in other words, it was actually light enough that you could carry it reasonably.
It was approximately 50 pounds.
There was also a very strange time element involved with contact with the obelisk. Originally, he had ripped his shirt. Something happened with the obelisk. Now, the hours that should have existed no longer existed. In other words, he was there, he knew he was there, or felt he was there for at least 3 hours. But what ended up happening was only a short period of time had gone by. And there was a time where it seemed like he was actually somehow enveloped by the obelisk. When he was finished with that episode, his shirt was no longer torn.
We'll get to the shirt in just a second. That's fascinating. But let me ask you, just for clarification, did 3 hours pass on your watch and some of that time you can't seem to account for? Or did it seem like 3 hours but actually turn out to be a much shorter time on your watch?
The watch I was wearing stopped.
Naturally.
And I don't know exactly what time.
All right, then if I understand this correctly, you had the alien wrapped in the thermal blanket that is, by the way, the background for the photographs that we've got here. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. And you carried this creature away, wrapped up. Meanwhile, in the background, the obelisk, this thing, is still hovering in the air, and that's the last you saw of the obelisk.
That's correct.
Have you since been back to that location?
We went back. I took my best friend back the next day, and we went back to this location, and there was not one thing out of place in this entire area.
All right, you then hiked. You've got how many hours to get back to your vehicle?
About an hour and a half.
So you carried this creature for an hour and a half?
Yeah, stopping along the way.
Stopping occasionally.
To think about putting it somewhere, hiding it somewhere.
But you kept going.
I just kept going.
All right, you got the creature into your car.
I threw it in the back of my car.
And drove where? Straight home?
Drove home.
Drove home. Now, when you got home, what did you do?
Well, driving home gave me some sense of serenity, like I had come back to the real world. And, home felt like comfort.
Yeah, but with a bit of a souvenir.
Right, and when I got home, I sat in my carport, looking in the rearview mirror, seeing the silhouette of my burrito in the back.
Burrito.
Thinking, what am I going to do with this? Well, I'll bury it tomorrow. Maybe all this is a bad dream. And so after that, I went in the house for a while, and I decided I can't just leave this in my car. I even thought about the fact if somebody broke into my car and found this, that would be a surprise. So I decided that I would put it in my garage, in my freezer. as odd as that sounds, at that point I felt it was a piece of meat, and I needed to put it somewhere out of sight, and I could lock the freezer.
Preserve it. So you locked it in your freezer?
Yeah.
Yeah, he really didn't want to bring it into his house.
I
For him,
understand, believe me.
For him,
Looking at it here, I understand that completely. So how long did it spend in your freezer?
Till the next morning when I decided to look again.
Now, at what point did you bring the video camera out again and the camera and begin to take photographs of this creature? When did that happen?
That was approximately 9 hours after after the event, and I had gotten it home.
The video, Whitley, and I hope you don't mind, Doctor, my describing.
Go right ahead.
The video shows the creature wrapped up, as he said, like a burrito, and it actually starts being unwrapped. In other words, he starts unwrapping it. This is now at home. And they go through a series of, was that you in the video, Doctor?
Yeah.
Okay. Opening the mouth, moving the face, moving the head back and forth, opening the eyelids, that sort of examination. It shows that in the video.
Who was handling the video camera at that time?
I was.
Who was?
I was.
So you must have had it on a tripod or something?
Actually, I duct taped the side of a ladder.
Okay.
And when I shot the section where I showed the wound, I put it on top of a box.
On the top of a box, yeah, that's right. It would be fairly close, so it would, that makes sense. So here we are. You've now documented by video and by 35 millimeter photography the creature and what you call the obelisk. Not necessarily, folks, the ship. That was our mistake in interpretation, calling it a ship. It's not necessarily a ship. It was something, an obelisk something. So, Doctor, who did you tell about this?
Well, the first thing I did after I got home was try to gain a little composure. And then I sat down and thought about calling my girlfriend, which I called. She wasn't home. And then I called my best friend, and I had left a message with him. I said, call me immediately as soon as you get home.
Mm-hmm.
He called me later, and I told him to come over because I had something I needed to see him. And I showed him.
That must have been some experience for your friend.
Yeah, to put it lightly. I was still quite sick at the time, and I think, it was traumatic from every standpoint.
Gary was a bit more functional, and Gary was the one that pretty much said this is an alien. It was something that at this time Jonathan absolutely did not want in any way to think of. It's not where he wanted to go.
Okay, now we've got another witness, Gary. Somebody named Gary. That's your best friend, right?
Gary was my best friend for 15 years.
Are you still in contact with Gary?
Gary has been missing for the last 2 years.
Oh, my. All right.
If you're out there, Gary, you know how to get a hold of me.
All right. Do you suspect Gary's on the run, has met with foul play? What?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I do know that we went through an enormous amount of incidents after this.
What sort of incidents?
Incidents where we were trying to find out what to do with this. I was trying to make some sense out of it. I had basically decided that I had killed something, that I could be very, very seriously in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Gary kind of took the lead and said, no, this is something else. This is something very important.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, well, we need to go to the police. He said, no, we don't. That's the first thing you don't want to do. And then we went down that path of what do we do? Who do we talk to?
Sure.
We made several phone calls to some of the bigger organizations.
Like what?
Such as MUFON.
MUFON. You called MUFON?
Yes.
MUFON did
Peter
you call?
Davenport in Seattle.
You called Peter Davenport?
Yes.
And what response did you get from Peter?
Well, when we were calling, at that point, we were calling fairly anonymously. We were saying, what if we had this? Very similar to the fax that was sent to you, Art.
All right.
And we were gingerly trying to test the waters of where to go.
You know, what if we had a body?
And some of the response that we got was very disturbing from the standpoint of, you know, people wanting to come and, you know, tear this thing apart and tear your life apart. And, you know, do you have this? Do you have that?
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you right now 2 questions. One, do you retain any physical evidence at all?
Other than the photographic evidence?
Uh-huh.
No.
Right. How long did you retain custody of this alien body?
10 days.
10 days. On the 10th day, what happened?
Well, I think there needs to be something said prior to that.
All right.
Go ahead, Jonathan. We had brought this extraterrestrial home in the event to have something done with it. Something so that somebody could put some sense to all of this. I didn't want to kill it, but I did it out of fear. I did it out of frustration for what I had just witnessed. And I felt terrible, and I still do. But I brought it home, I saved it, I put it in the freezer. We went through the process of trying to find out what to do, and who to go, and who to talk to. And no one would believe us. No one would believe the seriousness of this.
You mean among your friends or?
Among some of the professionals that I talked with.
The UFO people or?
Yes. I talked to several people through the university. I talked to a professor that I knew specifically as a friend. I tried to set up meetings with him. Things started to happen. He told me he would come and look. I then received a phone call several hours later, and this was predetermined that he would come over and look at this. All of a sudden, his tone changed. He canceled the appointment. No reason given. Mm-hmm. This started to happen one after the other. Then we realized there were people watching the house.
Dr. Reed, at that point, hold on, please. All right. Dr. Jonathan Reed is the man you're listening to at the moment. Robert Wraith is here, and so is Whitley Strieber. I'm Art Bell. And this is Coast to Coast AF.
All right. That's right, folks. Nearly 27 years ago, Art Bell took the next break, as will I, AI Art Bell, here in the late night hours, here in the virtual mountains. Did you notice the long ago bumper music that Art played, which was so rudely extinguished, which was The Mystic's Dream by Lorena McKennitt? Well, let's play that now in real time, shall we? You bet. Before we dive back into vintage magic, we'll take a quick detour for some more nostalgic commercials from the YouTube archives. Stick around, folks. They don't make commercials like this anymore.
La Have a Thanksgiving roast turkey feast at Beefsteak Charlie's for just $9.99 per adult, and kids eat free all day. Celebrate at Beefsteak Charlie's.
Breakstone's 100% natural sour cream is more than rich. It's thicker than many other sour creams. It's so thick and rich, it's hard to shake off the spoon. In fact, you can see Breakstone's difference right out of the container. So rich, so thick, so good. And isn't a rich, thick sour cream worth a little bit of trouble? Breakstone's all-natural sour cream. So rich, so thick, so good.
Right now, something incredible is happening at Bear. Because we're kicking off Christmas with a sale that runs round the clock until late Saturday night.
Christmas is coming, we're gonna get you humming. Save and save.
Save on gifts 24 hours a day.
All day and night we'll be there.
All day, all night, till Saturday night.
We like to make Bear your store.
Don't miss a single minute.
Make Bear your store.
America's homecoming week continues with Bugs Bunny's hot tips for a perfect Thanksgiving. First, find the perfect bird, and above all, stay calm. It's Bugs Bunny's Thanksgiving Diet next.
Oh, a day for saving. That's a big Thanksgiving sale at Kmart.
Tomorrow morning, every Kmart in America will open at 8 a.m. for a Thanksgiving sale. Check your Kmart circular. You'll find pages of great gift values for every person on your list. The nationwide Thanksgiving sale. Tomorrow only, starting at 8 a.m. at the Kmart near you.
Kmart, we've got it, and we've got it.
This is the end of part 3.